Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show live in the On Purpose Woman magazine and global community Facebook page. I'm Jenny Robertson, one of the hosts of the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show, and I'm also the founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine and founder of the On Purpose Woman global community. My guest today is the other host of the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show, my good friend and collaborating partner, Catherine Yarborough. Hey, Catherine.
Hi, Jenny.
I'm super excited to talk with you about how to keep moving forward with your business. But before we do that, I want to tell everybody, for the one or two people out there who don't know you, I'm going to tell everybody about you, okay?
Well, Jenny, I hate to break it to you, but there are billions of people on this planet, lots of billions, who don't know anything about me. So yes, tell the world about me.
Okay. So Catherine Yarborough is the creator of the Manifesting Clients Academy, an inspirational speaker, and the author of Keep Moving Forward. I could have had it in my other hand. I wasn't prepared. Keep Moving Forward, a guide for the on-purpose solopreneur. Catherine teaches heart-based, on-purpose solopreneurs how to manifest clients and grow the businesses their hearts long for. She began her entrepreneurial journey as a dance movement therapist in private practice. Over the years, her work evolved, and when she realized that she loves teaching solopreneurs how to manifest clients and grow their businesses, she committed to providing services for them. And I knew you when you were a dance movement therapist, didn't I? We go way back, and it's been so much fun to watch you come to this place because you are so good at what you do. And let's start, though, with some basics, because I know a lot because I have the book, and I've read the book. And I'm going to read the book some more. But let's start with some basics. So you talk about you serve heart-based, on-purpose solopreneurs. How does somebody know if they're a heart-based, on-purpose solopreneur?
The simplest way is the words resonate with them. But that's the simplest way. I'll define it a little bit more. A heart-based entrepreneur of any kind, in my opinion, cares as much about people as they do about making money. And I'm going to make them equal, Jenny, because I think some people can care about people more than they can care about making money, in which case they may be doing a hobby or a part-time gig with their business instead of really being an entrepreneur and stepping into their business. And then there are those people who care more about making money than they do about people, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. They're just not necessarily heart-based, not coming from their heart. An on-purpose entrepreneur or solopreneur, and for those of you who don't know, a solopreneur is a one-person business. I think you can still have a VA, virtual assistant, or a coach or other team people and be a solopreneur. But you're the only person providing the services for the most part. And an entrepreneur could be all different size business. But anyhow, an on-purpose solopreneur or entrepreneur, in my definition, feels called to do what they do. Their business is an expression of their purpose. And by purpose, I'm talking in this context, their divine purpose. They're what they're here to do on the planet at this time that is in alignment with the expression of this great one that we're all part of. And I think any entrepreneur who's successful or is doing their business is on purpose in the sense that they're purposeful. If they feel like they've got to get up in the morning to work on their business, they can feel on purpose because there's what I call the day-to-day purpose, which is different for me than, or can be different than, that sense of being on purpose in alignment with this that expresses itself through us, with a part of. And ideally, our day-to-day purpose, what we feel called to do in each day, is in alignment with the fulfillment of our divine purpose. And that's when it's really sweet. And if we've got clients who benefit from what we have to offer, wow, that's the awesome thing to get to. And what I think I'm inviting us all to get to with this book and what came through me in writing this book. Keep moving forward.
Wow. When you talk like that, Catherine, when you say those words about, divine purpose or divine serving the divine, doing what you're here to do, knowing it, it just feels really delicious. I think because it so resonates with me. But it's interesting because when I started the On Purpose Woman community many years ago, I picked the on purpose words because I knew could mean two different things to two different people. One was about, yeah, I'm on purpose. I'm getting my stuff done. I've got a business plan. I've got all this stuff going on. Or this is why I'm here. This is what I'm here to do right now. So, and we can merge those two, I think, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
We have to do both. We actually have to do both. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got to read your book early before a lot of other people, and I wrote a review, and I want to read the review that I wrote because first of all, I like it. It's really true, but also it kind of leads into my next question. Okay. So Catherine's book, Keep Moving Forward, a guide for the on purpose solopreneur. Here's what I wrote about Catherine's book. This is the first book I've read that takes the world of the purpose-driven solopreneur and merges the practical and the spiritual, the doing and the being. This book is rich with content, ideas, and practices for beginners as well as established entrepreneurs. I followed Catherine's work for years and used many of the tools she teaches. This is a valuable resource that I expect to keep close by and use often. Now, I could say a lot about all those words that I said, but what I want to really have you respond to is this idea of how you merge the practical with the spiritual and the doing with the being, because, the books I've seen have either been, well, I haven't seen a whole lot of business books that are written for spiritually based entrepreneurs. But I've seen a lot of business books that are written for head-centered, to the doing pieces of it. So you've merged the two. First of all, why did you do that? And why does it matter?
I really appreciate that question. For the first part, I'll remember that. Why did I do it? I have, as you know, been working with entrepreneurs in some way or another since around 2006. I think I did my very first Attracting Clients workshop back then in Columbia, Maryland in 2006. And then it took me till 2017 to fully commit to working with entrepreneurs. And now I say on purpose solopreneurs. And I learned a lot over the years for myself. One of the reasons why I taught that workshop in 2006 and then continued to work with entrepreneurs or offer services for them until I committed in 2017 was because in growing a dance movement therapy private practice, I had no idea how to do it. I got books, those practical books out. I read them and I learned what does marketing mean? How do we do it? I learned about the law of attraction. How do we do that? I put those pieces together and I grew a thriving private practice. And then I thought, well, I want to teach other people how to do this stuff. And so I started to do that. And for years before I wrote this book, I thought, I'll write a book. I can write a book about manifesting clients. My business is Manifesting Clients Academy. And we put the outline together and it would be really the nuts and bolts of what I had learned from other people. How do we do this stuff? What I learned earlier about marketing, and then through my lens of applying it as a heart-based, on-purpose solopreneur, I have a different kind of perspective than people who learned that stuff in schools or in big businesses. But I didn't finish those books. So the ideas of those books came to me and I was like, yeah, but other people have written all that stuff. Why should I do this? And then what happened for me, and this is related to the content in the book, is I have a relationship with what I call my future on purpose self. And she's she's the visioner, the person who's driving the car, and she keeps focused. She's down the road, actually. It's anyways, me developing the relationship with her is the me looking towards her, towards my actual future on purpose self, which is where we're going in the car. And my future on purpose self said to me, Catherine, write a book and you'll learn what you are here to teach. And so I already had all this practical knowledge about how to grow any kind of a solopreneur business, as well as the stuff I learned in books. And so writing the book, I channeled some of it. Some of the stuff came through me. I was learning my message that wants to be spoken through me in better, more clearly through this process of writing this book. So that's why this book is what it is. It wanted to be expressed in this way. I thank you for the question, because I hadn't really articulated that before out loud, I think. I don't remember the second part of your question.
I don't know that I need to ask it now. I don't know. It was, why does it matter? Why does it matter that you've done that? You know, like, how does it change things? Not for you personally, but how does it change things for other entrepreneurs who might read the book or work with you?
For me personally, it does matter, because by writing it, I've gotten super clear on what I'm calling the keep moving forward approach to growing the business your heart longs for, which is what is all written throughout the book. And it makes me feel more confident about the material, which is always good for anyone who is sharing something that came through them. The more confident we are, the better it is in our ability to communicate it and share it with the world. But what I've been really pleasantly surprised by, Jenny, other than you, who we've known each other for a long time and you're a friend, of course you're going to write a wonderful review about my book. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know you're honest. But the truth is, and if anybody goes to Amazon, I have something like 30 reviews now, 35 stars. And, some of the people are people I know, but they didn't have to write a great review. And I've got great reviews. This book is touching people's lives. And I think it's because of what we're talking about, that there's more to it. Mm-hmm. There's the practical, there in terms of concepts, there's the spiritual, but also there's all the exercises in here that we haven't even talked about, which are so useful for people. I'm proud of this book, and thank you for encouraging me and supporting me, Jenny, because you told me it was pretty good after you read it. I was like, okay, I guess I should keep going with it.
I think I said more than it was pretty good. I think I sent you this gushing email because I knew that you would write a good book. I knew you would write a good book, but I was really surprised at how well it came together. I'm like, God, I wonder if she knew that, It just seemed like it flowed in, and you wrote it quickly. You didn't labor over it. I mean, it may have seemed like you labored over it for a long time, but some people take a couple of years to write a book like that. And it seems like you just downloaded it and made the tweaks. And so it was your book, or it was writing you, or you were writing it. And it was a collaboration, I think, with your future on purpose self. So,
and something bigger.
Everybody. Yeah. Well, she was also getting helped, I guess, too, Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I am a fan about that. And I don't know if you've ever been asked to write reviews for people's books, and you kind of go, God, I hope it's good. Because what would I say? I mean, but I knew that you wouldn't write a book unless it was worthy of being published. I just knew, because you're smart enough to know, But I really was. I was like, wow, this is so, what word comes to mind? It's a graceful book. And I don't think I've used that word. It flows. It makes perfect sense. It's easy, I think, simple. It's simple for people to understand. May not be, they may have to work at it and practice doing it, but it's simple, where I don't think people have to fall all over themselves to actually get the idea. So enough about you. Okay.
Thank you, though. I appreciate all that.
Yes. But you also, you write and you talk about this all the time, that growing your on-purpose business is like taking a ride in your car, going on a trip in your car. And your cover is this woman in a car heading down the road. So talk about how it's similar. I mean, it's a metaphor. So can you talk a little bit about how growing our on-purpose business is like taking a trip in your car?
Yes, I'd love to talk about that. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're right here, right now. And then in the future, there's the future you who has the business you're longing for at this moment, unless, of course, your business is everything you want it to be right now, in which case, congratulations, and you probably don't need my book. and enjoy all the great things. But if you're wanting to grow the business that your heart longs for, here you are now, and in the future, you've got that business. When you go on a trip in your car, here you are now at your home, and over there is where you're going. And I think I use the example in the book of going to Seattle. I live in Florida, and if I wanted to go to Seattle, I need to see what Seattle looks like. I want to paint the picture of Seattle so that I'm actually sure I actually want to go there. Mm-hmm. And that's the same with a business. It's really helpful to paint the picture of the business to the best of our ability before we go there, so we can imagine and sense, do I really want to take the time, energy, and effort to get there? Just like going, if I'm going to drive in my car from here to Seattle, we're talking about 5, 6, 7 days in my car. Of course, it could take, 5, 6, 7 months or a year or two to get to the business that your heart longs for. But you have to put that kind of effort into it. And so, so it's like that. And I have in the book, I talk about 4 different people in the car plus the trunk. And I use that as a metaphor for this keep moving forward approach to get to where it is that your heart longs for, which for me and what I'm teaching in the book and talking about a lot with my clients is that's what your future on purpose self is doing. That's the business that she has. And I believe that's the business our hearts long for, because she's fulfilling your purpose full out without constraint. She's being the fullest expression of yourself. She's providing the services that you love providing. She's making the difference that your heart just feels overflowing by providing. And of course, she's reaping the rewards, the financial rewards, as well as all the good feelings that come from doing what we're here to do and having people appreciate that, because that's what happens. People appreciate it.
Yeah, she's like your role model, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you choose to let her do her thing,
mm-hmm.
I guess.
She is.
So I love the whole metaphor, and like the book has a lot of really interesting things about who's in the car and what's in the trunk and all of that. But let's say that I resonate with the whole idea of being a solopreneur, an on-purpose solopreneur. I'm heart-based, and I get excited and I start to see that future on-purpose self. I start to feel her and I start taking those steps. What are some of the things that can get in my way and like stop me from continuing down the road? Besides a flat tire, what can actually stop me?
Well, a flat tire could probably stop you.
That's an obvious one. I'm sure you've got some other kind of nuanced answers.
But what I like about the metaphor of a flat tire, which I've never talked about before, is that a part of you can get deflated.
Oh, it's brilliant when I said that. That was a brilliant thing I said. That's really good. That's really good.
Who knew how brilliant you are, Jenny? Yes, it is. You are. So, of course. But yeah, so a flat tire is a great metaphor for being deflated. And as you and I know, and Jenny and I have been journeying together for 20 years. I've known her for 20 years. Yay, us. And we are both entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, depending on whoever and whenever you're looking at us. But my point being is that we've both had that experience of being deflated, and that feeling of, for me at least, I can't speak for you, but for me, putting something together, putting it out there, and then not getting the responses that I would have liked, or I do an event or do a program and it doesn't work, or people don't like it, or it all falls flat. Nobody even responds. Sending out an email and nobody responds. I mean, all of those things can feel so deflating. Posting on Facebook and nobody responds. The feeling of flat tire is a great feeling for this, that takes us off the road, takes us off what I call the moving sidewalk, has us spiral down into discouragement and wondering, should I really keep going? And that sort of thing, whether it's a flat tire or an obstacle in the road, a detour sign, or whatever it is, that's all part of the journey. And those are things we really need to recognize are likely to come out. One of the things that's been super huge for me to learn in the last just couple of years has to do with, I want to say it's the fact that if I'm If I'm moving towards my future on purpose self and I'm moving my business towards her, I am continuously stepping outside of my comfort zone.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm not her yet. I am not her yet. So to become her, I have to keep stepping out. And so it's a constant experience of needing to understand that I feel uncomfortable because I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone. It means I'm uncomfortable. Sometimes I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just unfamiliar. And so to recognize that that's part of this and to learn ways to be with it and to keep moving forward. Hence the name, Keep Moving Forward. And this name comes from the words that I often tell my clients, just keep moving forward. And I can't tell you how many times I've said that to people I work with. Mm-hmm. And all of the tools in the book are about how to keep moving forward. And if we don't, what happens is we can stay in the driveway, not get going, or get off the road, turn back, go back home. We don't ever get to Seattle, whatever your Seattle is. And that can feel disappointing because fulfilling our purpose feels so good. Let's do it.
Yeah. That made me sad for a minute for anybody who does, you know what I mean? It is heartbreaking sometimes because we know a lot of women and we do see people who, you know, I know that you've had clients who you kind of probably had to talk down from quitting and going and getting a job, right? And I know you said that breaks your heart because not everybody should go do that. I mean, sometimes people know, but I think when you get far enough along, if you're getting stopped, but you've still got that fire, it's still in there because you've gotten clear at some point, but the clarity can get all muddied up, right?
That's
because of the fears or the flat tires or all that other hazards that can go wrong. So is keeping that future on purpose self, like keep just bringing her back and continuing to like communicate with her, is that helpful? Like, is that
for me it is.
Mm-hmm.
For me it is, and it's something that I've recently 100% committed to doing, and it's something that's probably going to be the basis of my work with my clients moving forward, is asking them as well. You know, up until now I've talked about, not here on this interview, but you know, I've for years preached about being intentional about the story you tell yourself and using the new story process. Mm-hmm. And while that's still very much important because it retrains our brain to think positive rather than, oh, it's not working, I should quit, blah, blah, blah. But with the new story, we're writing a new story about the future as if it's happening now, and we're becoming that person inside of ourselves. But this next piece, which is what came through this book that I had already started working with, but by writing this book, it made me go, yeah, I really want to do this, is by staying connected with my future on purpose self. And so I'm taking it to the next level for myself. At first, it was just a once every 3 to 6 months that I would go on a guided journey with my clients and we'd meet our future on purpose selves. Then I wrote a year and a half ago, I started with, I'm on my moving sidewalk, and this means that was my new story, and that means I'm connected to my future on purpose self. So I started kind of tuning into her sort of daily. Now, this next level is I'm not just tuning into her daily. Between each transition in my day, I'm committing to asking her, what does she want me to do next? Oh. So instead of looking at my plate of all the things I have to do, I'm going, what do you want me to do next? Because in order to be her, I need to do act like her. I need to do what she would have me do and be and become her. So yeah, it's like I'm up-leveling my whole relationship. It's another level of experiment. As you know, I like to experiment with this stuff and invite other people to do it if they want to. So I'm going to be taking my Moving Sidewalk Movement members on a guided journey starting in October every month to meet with their future on purpose self so they can develop a relationship with her better than they already have. It's going to be one of the services that I provide. And and there's different things that are coming out that I'm excited about.
Yeah, I think you and I might have talked a little bit about that, but I don't think I knew about the every different transition. Every time you finish something, I think is what you're saying. When you finish something, it's time to start something else.
In the day,
during the day. Yeah, instead of just doing the next thing on the list, you're asking. And do you ever hear the answer and then you go, well, I don't want to do that? Or why do you want me to do that? Or I don't think that's going to work. Do you ever, that doesn't happen, right?
Actually, of course it does happen to me. Are you kidding? I'm like Miss Resistant herself. So I think it was Saturday morning. I was like, okay, so I'm up. What do you want me to do? Oh, go for a walk now. And I'm like, well, I don't want to. I want to play a game on my phone. And so anyway,
kid, right? A little brat.
yeah,
So,
yeah. But I think, and so part of this that is an experiment is what will happen if I keep saying yes to what she does? Will she keep telling me through each transition? Will she have something? And some of the things are not specific. Some of them are kind of general, like explore this next program. Mm-hmm. You know, that's kind of like a journaling thing. And then Saturday was, yeah, get up and go for a walk. So anyhow, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited to find out. And I know that even just tuning into her, though, Jenny, is good, because every time we tune into her, every time I do, I'm looking towards the future. So instead of looking down at the ground or looking right at all my to-do list and feeling like, oh, there's too much, I'm looking towards her, and flow energy from the divine flows into me and through me. And I feel that sense of flow, and it improves my mood. So I'm on a journey to be her and feel the sense of joy and love that she feels, and purpose and success and confidence. I can just go on. I love my future on purpose self.
Well, I've experienced my future on purpose self because I've done that work with you. I've done some of that work with you. And I do really like the idea of checking in with her and seeing, you know, because I've always liked that statement, what's the next right thing for me to do when I'm feeling overwhelmed? But that takes it to a different place. I'm going to try that. I'll report in and see how that goes. I have a little brat in there too, but I don't know, you know, we'll see how she cooperates. But it's an experiment, which again, I love that you say that. So one of the things that you write about, and I've heard you say this often, is that on purpose solopreneurs are either being the fullest expression of themselves or a longing to. And I love this idea of being the fullest expression of ourselves, of myself. And again, you're the only person I know who talks about that in the business, tied in with a business perspective rather than just a spiritual perspective. So how does someone know? How does an entrepreneur know that she's being the fullest expression of herself, or what would that look like?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a really interesting question, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. And again, I have to talk about me, though I think we can look at other people and see people who are more likely being the fullest expression of themselves or not. People who step up to the plate, people who really let their voice be heard, people who share their entire being through their work. And I don't think it has to do with being on the stage speaking. For me, that's a piece of my expression. I am a speaker, and I am good at being in the front of the room and letting words come to me and through me, as well as preparing and sharing a message. And I think for me, it's important for me to do that. I don't think that that's true for everybody. Some people being the fullest expression of themselves may mean that they need to have paper and pen out or write on blogs every day or write books all the time. For some people, it probably looks more like loving on people, like through body work, or speaking about how to heal the body through body work and then demonstrating that. The experience inside of myself, and this ties into my spiritual journey, is that we are each light. At our core, we are essence, we are light. We came into this physical body as essence, as light, and then through our human experience, we adapted to the other humans around us by covering that light or that essence. Most of us, everybody I know, did. And we created what I would call our constructed personality, not essence, but our way of being in the world that had us survive And for some of us, that personality is good and healthy, and we can function well, and maybe a lot of our light comes out. For me, that wasn't the case. I feel like I had a big, solid casing all around me and was very protected, and also energetically and emotionally protected. And also I felt very shut down. So a lot of my adult life has been a journey of healing and breaking through that and cracking that shell until layers have fallen away and fallen away. And I feel like sometimes there's a veil between me and being the fullest expression of myself. Sometimes it's just about creating the situations where I allow those words to come through me, kind of like what you pointed to earlier in this. Me being the fullest expression of myself includes letting those words flow to me and through me and out so that they touch other people. And so if our purpose is best expressed through a business, through providing a service that people pay us for, we need to be the fullest expression of ourselves to fully realize or fully manifest that business, whatever it looks like, whatever it is our fullest expression. And so for some of us, we need to do the healing. We need to do the spiritual work that has us release those walls and veils and constraints so that our light, our essence can come through us completely and unabashedly. And so that we make the difference we're here to make.
Yeah, that's really what it's all about, isn't it? We get to make the difference we're here to make.
We get to choose. We get to choose whether or not we're going to do that, or lie in bed and play a game on my cell phone instead of go for a walk, which has me become the physical self that I need to be in order to do that. So we get to choose.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for being so real about what you've dealt with, because I think it would be easy for somebody, especially somebody who had never met you before, to look at you on this interview and go, wow, that's easy for her to say because she's got it all, look at her. She's expressing herself in such a beautiful way, and she knows all this stuff, and she wrote this great book. And I think that, often we walk around like that thinking that other people, we're the only one who doesn't have it all together, when we've all got stuff.
Yeah.
And so, I love that you also talk about how even though you wrote this book and you teach this stuff, you still practice and you still try new things out to see what's going to work, because there's no end to this. This is not a finite destination, right?
Mm. No.
We might when we get to Seattle, but we might want to continue and go up into Canada and see what's up in Canada, and
come around to Maine
and go,
and then go down to Mexico, and then go on a worldwide tour, and then go again. Yeah, it is. it is fun, and I think for me, the more that I get that, the more I can. And since I have done as much healing work as I have, I'm able to enjoy my life more and more and more. And I'm grateful for that. So I am enjoying the journey as much as possible. And I think it's just going to get better from here, which is really cool. And we'll see. I'll keep you posted or not, because if it gets worse, I'm not going to be out here doing Facebook Lives with anybody.
I won't let that happen. I won't let that happen. You have to ghost me on, or something. Go, well, because, we need each other to keep going forward. We really do. And I say that in a big,
yes, which
you
is
and me, but
which is why we're Jenny and I, for those of you who don't know, on I believe it's the third Saturday or the second Saturday in October, we're doing the Be on Purpose Day. Do you remember the date, Jenny? You think about it.
October 16th, I believe.
October 16th, it's a Saturday. Okay. And it's for any on purpose, heart-based, on purpose solopreneurs, entrepreneurs. It's only $47 if you do early registration. You can go to my website, or you can go to beonpurposeday.com for information. But I'm saying this because we're going to talk about 5 steps we need to grow our on-purpose business. And the last one is that we need other people. We need other people. And that's what Jenny, it just authentically came out about us and our friendship. but we need a circle. I think as women, we need a circle and sometimes multiple circles of women in order to keep moving forward with this, because it's for most of us, I don't know how anybody could grow a business, an on-purpose business by themselves, unless that was just the unique type of business. I don't know of any, but
yeah, I just took us right into that Be on Purpose Day, but it fit beautifully. Yes, go and find out about that, because Catherine and I really do great stuff together, and I think it's a really valuable day for women. And I have to say also, Catherine, that I really get excited when I commune with my future on purpose self. The thing that hangs me a little up sometimes is, well, how far down the road am I going to go? Because she's getting older too. So it's like, I want to do 2 years down the road. I don't want to do 10 years down the road, because I'm impatient. I want more to happen now. It's not about, oh, I'm going to be too old or any of that. It's like, okay, I guess, what am I trying to say? I'm not cutting, I want to cut myself more slack and like say, oh, I can do that over a 10-year period. Does that make sense?
Okay. So
yeah.
Here's something to think about for you. Drop away the years. Don't think about years. As you connect with your future on purpose self, what is she doing? Because that vision is possible in this lifetime.
Yeah.
It's only going to be limited if you say, well, what will I be doing in 2 years if I'm on this path? If you actually tune in and go, okay, just blank slate, no years, what's my future on purpose self doing? I believe 100% you can do it in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
You wouldn't be given.
I could be doing some of it next week.
Yes. And any vision we're given, we wouldn't be given it if it wasn't possible. So I believe that wholeheartedly.
Thank you. I asked that question for me and didn't even know it. So. Well, before we wrap up, I want to give you a chance to say some more things, some more wisdom, but I want you to tell people how they can buy your book, how they can find out more about your work. What's the best way to do that?
There's a couple of things. Thank you, Jenny. First of all, Keep Moving Forward, a guide for the on-purpose solopreneur. Thank you, Jenny. It double. I feel like, those, what was it? Doublemint gum. Anyhow, they were twins on Amazon. And so if you're on the fence, go to Amazon and click and go to Keep Moving Forward and read the reviews, because there's, as I said, I think before, there's 30 reviews. Did I say that in here today? 30 reviews. 30. And I mean, lots of positive stuff. So check it out to see if it's the right book for you to get. And then if it is, get it. This other thing is, you can join me on Facebook. I have a wonderful, growing, lively, sweet Facebook group called Manifesting Solopreneurs. So just type in Manifesting Solopreneurs and ask to join it. And for any other information about me or to connect with me, my website is manifestingclientsacademy.com. Okay, and that's the best thing to do. And I offer events, I offer programs. I have, as I said before, the Moving Sidewalk Movement membership. At different times, I'm offering different things, and you can reach out if you're interested in having some sort of conversation with me and you're like, oh my God, I just love this woman. You want to do more with me, I'm sure there's an opportunity for that to happen.
And your future on purpose self is going, my God, look at her go. I mean, are you conscious in that moment of all that stuff you just said that you can offer? That's, yeah.
No.
Feel that. Yeah.
It's not that I can, it's that I am offering. It's not that I can, I am offering that. So yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am doing a lot of wonderful stuff. Thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome. So final words of wisdom. What do you want to leave our heart-based, on-purpose solopreneurs with?
I really like what we were just talking about. If you can see it in your mind, it is possible. So please do not doubt that. Don't stay in the doubt of, how will I do it? Oh, it's not really possible. It's not happening yet. if you can see it in your mind, it's possible. So keep moving forward, take the next step of what's wanting to happen, and you'll get there, or something even better.
I love that, or something even better. And as long as you're moving forward, you don't have to take giant steps. As long as you're going in the same direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you. Thank you, Catherine, for being with me and for sharing your wisdom and sharing your book and all that. So it was good. It was really good. So anything else you want to say?
Thank you, Jenny.
Okay. I didn't know how to segue into what I have to say next. So I was being a little, So thank you, Catherine. And thank all of you for watching and being with us today for this Real Women, Real Purpose talk show in the On Purpose Woman magazine and global community Facebook page. If you love this interview, which you will, and want to share it with your friends, it'll be on our YouTube channel in the next 48 hours. Go over to the On Purpose Woman global community on YouTube. That's our channel name. Like it, subscribe, so you can get notified when we put up a new interview. There's over 80, I believe, wonderful interviews there with real women living their real purpose. There's great interviews that are educational, inspirational, fun. Just go over there and see what resonates with you and watch something, but watch this one especially and share it with your friends. And tomorrow, I'm going to be back here again in the On Purpose Woman magazine and global community to talk with Reverend Mialina Zachary about, I love this title, How to Dance with Your Demons. And Catherine, you're doing an interview this Thursday, I believe, with Tammy Workman Lopez, right? Do you remember that title? Because I forgot to look it up, but
Nope. So folks, y'all are going to have to look for it.
You have to look for it.
So Tammy's wonderful and you'll love what she does.
Yeah. Really good mindset stuff. So yeah, you want to watch Tammy. And next Monday, you're doing a really special interview.
Oh, I do remember that. It's with you.
Yes. And we're going to be talking about my being in business for 21 years. And gosh, only knows what you're going to ask me about that, but I'm looking forward to that. And so thank you again for watching the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show live here in the On Purpose Woman Global Community magazine page, whatever all that stuff is. Thanks, and see you all later. Bye now.